Oh, if I'm ever going to rant, this is the time to do it. But the Broncos beat the Titans
Here
20 to
we go.
12. And my analysis for this game was, worried that Vance Joseph would put Cam Ward into a blender. But instead, he put Brian Callahan in a blender. Um, this is one of the most poor. It's so bad that especially recently, a lot of people don't talk about the Titans because we've been terrible. But with Cam Ward, people watched. They wanted to watch Cam Ward, and everyone watched and witnessed the same thing where they're just, how in the world is Brian Callahan going to keep his job after this week? And the subsequent is going to be a mystery. He doesn't know the rules, didn't challenge a play where Alec Manor had his elbow in, didn't know that counted as 2 feet. The play calling, the decision making, like, can be summarized by the Titans ran the ball consistently on first and second down, even on third down. There was a drive where off of a turnover, just ran the ball 3 straight times to kick a field goal, didn't even let Cam Ward throw. And then before the end of the half, they get down at the 5. And Brian Callahan is like, let's open up the playbook now, and starts trying to let Cam Ward throw it backed up at his own end zone with not much time left. And that sequence ends up resulting in points for the Broncos. They score a touchdown off of the next drive. And it just, I could rant for 30 minutes on this alone, but abysmal from Callahan.
Callahan had by far the worst week 1 coaching outing out of any coach in the NFL. It was awful, man. It was awful. The post game presser where he's admitting that he doesn't. He straight up telling the reporter an elbow does not equal 2 feet.
Yep.
Yes, it does. It does. Body parts equal 2 feet. That's been a known rule for a long time. And casual NFL fans know this, Dakota. There is 32 head coaches in the NFL, and you're one of them, and you don't even know the rules, dude. I mean, it was abysmal. Listen, and we'll give the Broncos defense deserves credit. Now, I might take a premature victory lap on Bo Nix later, but the Broncos defense deserves credit. They looked incredible. Nick Bonino in particular dominated
got his money game and deserved it.
They dominated. So give the Broncos credit. And listen, that defense is going to be a problem, dude. It's going to be one of the best units in the league. But the Titans could have won this football game. They probably should have won this football game because of Bo Nix giving the ball to the Titans on several occasions. And listen, Cam Ward, he played good, okay? Considering the circumstances where both his tackles were a turnstile, okay? Both his tackles were a turnstile. His coach was failing him time and time again with play calling, just bad decision-making overall. And then the receivers, man, Calvin Ridley multiple times dropping passes that Cam Ward, especially in the crucial moment in the game. Last drive, 2 plays in a row up the seam. Cam Ward hits a beautiful throw, and I think Calvin Ridley dropped one, and then maybe it was someone else on the other, but either way, Cam Ward, 2 passes in a row, man, on the money, on the game-winning drive or game-tying drive potentially, and his guys just let him down, man, which was kind of the story of the game.
It was the rookie DK that had the other one where he just didn't. Okay. That was a rookie unfortunate miscommunication where DK didn't run it tight enough like Cam expected him to, and this is back to the Bengals-Browns game we mentioned earlier where then the Bengals ended up winning the game where the Browns kind of handed it to them from turnovers and turnovers and missed kicks. And this was it where Bo Nix had 3 turnovers that were entirely his fault, plus another turnover-worthy play in there.
Breaking news. Tank Bigsby is heading to the Eagles in a trade. Sorry, I had to interrupt you with that because we were just talking about the Jags running back.
Talked about him.
And Tank Bigsby is heading to the Eagles. Interesting.
After we just talked about the triple-headed monster, that also tells me they saw Bashaw Tootin play and the Jags were like, yeah, this is probably going to be our guy. Other breaking news is George Kittle is expected to be sidelined multiple weeks with a hamstring injury. So
yeah, we'll talk about
all the news, man,
in a minute.
Yeah, all the news. But yeah, I mean, 4 turnovers. Bo Nix with a 38.2 passing grade. Abysmal outing from Bo Nix. The Titans defense actually looked pretty good. Denard Wilson consistently is outperforming the talent that's on this defense. L'Jarius Sneed was back. He played minimal snaps, but looked back. He had like an 83 coverage grade. The problem is coaching. At the end of the day, the problem with this team is coaching. Offensively is an absolute nightmare. Special teams are a lot better than last year. I don't know if people remember Titans games weren't on much, but multiple games were decided because of the special teams unit being abysmal. DK had a credible kick return that ended up leading to a field goal before the half. But here is the one big issue with coaching is discipline and 13 penalties for 131 yards. And I will say there's a couple in there that I think were a little tic-tacky. But 131 yards penalty-wise to 133 offensive yards, you cannot win football games doing that.
You can't. And yeah, overall, Callahan got badly outcoached, really badly outcoached. Last thing I'll talk about on this game is the Bo Nix performance. Listen, man, Broncos fans, your team's good. And this is the weird thing with fan bases to me, Dakota. It's like, why do you feel the need to defend a specific player on your team when your team overall is fine? Like, your team's good. And I think your team is probably going to be in the playoffs based on this performance. Like, they won a game where where Bo Nix, the quarterback, was chucking it to the defense all game long, dude. He had the worst quarterback performance of the weekend, Dakota, and it wasn't particularly close, man. He was awful. It looks like the sophomore slump is in full swing. And even going back to last year, Dakota, Broncos fans, he's way overrated from last year, man. I'm sorry. He just was. 4 of his touchdowns were against the Chiefs backups in week 18. Those things matter. He started off the year abysmally, and yeah, he got better. And again, it goes back to the thing you say all the time, Dakota, with young players. We expect linear progression. It's not how this game works. You don't always progress linearly. You can have ebbs and flows. We see it with Bryce Young. We're seeing it with Bo Nix. It's the ebbs and flows. And the fact that this kind of game, which against a defense, Dakota, which again, like you said, outperformed the talent, but is lacking talent. It is lacking talent. And you're at home. You're expected to win this game by 8.5 points. You were the biggest favorite in the weekend. And your quarterback, he crapped the bed. He absolutely crapped the bed, dude. And the fact that that's a potential performance for Bo Nix would be concerning for me if I'm a Broncos fan going forward.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, the Titans defense, especially pass rushing wise, edge rushing, linebackers, bottom units in the NFL. They just are. Tavondre Sweat made an impact in the interior. So did Jeffrey Simmons. They were wreaking havoc on the interior, which is worth noting for the Broncos offensive line. And not to just say that the Titans lost this game, you know, giving the credit to the Broncos defense specifically. It is one of the best units in the NFL. And Vance Joseph is one of the best defense coordinators in the NFL. They were out coaching, out scheming, you know, and they deserve the win. And one, you know, a couple guys I want to shout out really quick. You know, Tony Pollard can actually look pretty good again. Did have a fumble that was excruciating in the moment. RJ Harvey looked good. RJ Harvey looked like and so did JK. JK played pretty well, but RJ Harvey flashed. And then Troy Franklin getting involved. You know, the rookie from the second round guy from last year. Old teammate of Bo Nix's. He got involved with 4 catches, so that's good to see. But yeah, overall, Titans are not going to be a good football team. We know that. Cam Ward looks like he could be good. Who knows how this season's going to work out? I think they get the Rams next week, so that's not going to help his development whatsoever. So unfortunate. But for the Broncos, yeah, I think that the thing to take away is hopefully Nix plays better than this, but you won a football game where Nix played literally the worst of any quarterback of this week and still won the football game. So it says a lot about the team.
And that's my point, Dakota. It's like, don't feel like you have to defend Bo Nix. He was awful. Okay. He was awful. And he might not be an elite quarterback ever in his career, but your team's good. So be happy. You found a way to win a game that you should not have won.
No. And you have a good coach too. If you have a good coach, good team, quarterback play, as long as he can be good enough when you need him to, that's all you really got to ask for. So